Of all the heirlooms we inherit, which ones truly hold our stories? Is it the stoic grandfather clock, faithfully ticking away the generations in the corner? Or the delicate china, reserved only for special occasions? Sometimes it's the oddest things, the pieces tucked away in a dusty attic or at the back of a cabinet, that whisper the most fascinating tales. They wait patiently for their moment, for someone to ask the simple question, "Where did you come from?" For one guest on a recent episode of the beloved BBC Antiques Roadshow, that moment arrived in the most spectacular and fishiest of ways. We've all felt that spark of anticipation watching the show. A hopeful guest, clutching a treasured possession, stands before an expert whose eyes hold the wisdom of centuries of art and craft. Hosted by the ever-gracious Fiona Bruce, the show is more than just a parade of pricey objects. It's a national treasure hunt where history, family lore, and breathtaking value collide. On this particular day, a gentleman stepped forward, not with a shimmering painting or a piece of royal silver, but with something so wonderfully peculiar it immediately captured everyone's attention: a teapot. But this was no ordinary teapot. This was a ceramic marvel, a whimsical and slightly startling piece of artistry designed as a large predatory fish in the very act of consuming a smaller one. The handle was the triumphant curl of the predator's tail, while its gaping mouth, with the smaller fish lodged within, formed the spout. It was quirky, it was strange, and it was utterly brilliant. Expert Serhat Ahmet's eyes lit up with the genuine delight of a true connoisseur who has stumbled upon something special. You could see the gears turning, the knowledge of decades clicking into place. "This looks like a mystery of the sea," he began, his voice laced with intrigue. He leaned in closer, his admiration for the piece palpable. The guest, a man clearly proud of his family's legacy, shared the teapot's origin story. It wasn't a lucky find from a car boot sale or a forgotten purchase from a jumble sale. This was personal. This was blood, sweat, and clay. "It's understood he was involved in making 7 of these," the man explained, referring to his great-grandfather, the creator of this aquatic masterpiece. His quest wasn't just about money, it was about connection. "I would just like to know whether anyone knows the origins of the teapot." He was holding more than just a vessel for brewing tea. He was holding a tangible link to an ancestor, a creative spirit who, generations ago, decided to mold clay into this fantastical scene. You can almost picture his great-grandfather in a dusty workshop, hands covered in slip, a playful glint in his eye as he brought this imaginative idea to life. The legend of the 7 teapots added another layer of mystique. Where were the other 6? Were they sitting on mantelpieces across the country, their owners oblivious to their shared, quirky heritage? Serhat listened intently, nodding as he absorbed the family history. "The idea of this is very Victorian," he confirmed, instantly placing the piece within a specific, fascinating cultural moment. He gently pointed to the surface, drawing attention to the tin-glazed colors that gave the fish their lifelike quality. He praised the wonderful shades of grays and greens, which shimmered like real scales under the studio lights, and the surprising pop of a delicate pink hue on the interior, a hidden detail like the inside of a seashell. He then beautifully articulated why this piece was so special, transporting the owner and the audience back to the 1860s and 1870s. "This was all the rage," he explained. "It was an era of explosive curiosity, of Darwinism, of exploring the natural world and celebrating its wonders. Animalia was huge and novelty was huge," Serhat continued, "so put the two together and you come out with a fish eating a fish to create a spout." He beamed, his passion for the object infectious. "That is just wonderful. I think it's so much fun." In his expert hands, the teapot transformed from a mere curiosity into a cultural artifact, a perfect encapsulation of Victorian ingenuity and their love for the bizarrely beautiful. It wasn't just a functional item, it was a conversation starter, a piece designed to delight, amuse, and perhaps even shock the guests at a 19th-century tea party. And then came the moment everyone was waiting for. The air grew still. The guest, who had come seeking knowledge, was now on the cusp of discovering its monetary worth. Serhat paused, letting the suspense build. At auction, he declared £300, £500 any day of the week. A wave of pleasant surprise washed over the guest's face. It was a significant sum. a wonderful validation of his great-grandfather's unique talent. But Sirhat wasn't finished. He dangled a tantalizing possibility, a thread that could unravel the entire mystery of the 7 teapots.